for 20 years, Emma believed her father was just a ghost, a faded memory from her childhood. He'd died when she was 10, leaving her with nothing but a shoebox of keepsakes she was too afraid to open. But today, a letter arrived. A letter written in his familiar, looping handwriting. It said he wasn't dead. It said he'd left to protect her. Nid led her to a dusty old lighthouse, to a chest filled with thousands of photos he'd taken of her in secret, documenting every moment of her life from the shadows. At the bottom was one last note. He was alive, and he was waiting for her just down the trail. When she saw him, older, but undeniably the man from the photos, she ran into his arms. But this reunion wasn't an ending. It was the beginning of a terrifying truth. The very next morning, a shadow flickered past their window, and the man she'd just found was suddenly terrified. He wasn't just hiding, he was running. And as they sped away from the lighthouse, he finally confessed. The dangerous people he hid from weren't after him. They were after her. Live. In a rundown motel room, he opened a metal briefcase. Revealing a file with her name on it. Echo Child. Emma Grace Hall. It was filled with reports, test results, and surveillance photos of her entire childhood. He explained he used to work for a group that believed certain children could be genetically enhanced, trained, and molded into something more. And Emma? She was their most promising candidate. He ran to stop them from taking her when she turned 11. That night, Emma saw him, the man from the lighthouse, standing at the edge of the motel parking lot. He didn't threaten her. Instead, he offered her a different story. He said her father didn't run to protect her. He ran because he stole something. He stole her. Before she could process it, her father burst out of the room, gun drawn. The man vanished into the darkness, but his words hung in the air. "Did you really steal me?" she asked, her voice trembling. And her father finally admitted the full, heartbreaking truth. He wasn't just her father. He was an operative assigned to deliver her to the program. But he couldn't do it. He'd fallen in love with the little girl he was supposed to betray. So he ran, making his new mission to keep her safe. Devastated, Emma locked the door between them. Her whole life had been a lie. At dawn, 2 black SUVs rolled into the lot. The man from the night before, Agent Rowan, stepped out. He and her father faced off, each claiming to be her protector. Rowan insisted he was rescuing her from a kidnapper. Her father swore he saved her from becoming an experiment. But Emma had spent the night reading the file. She knew something neither of them expected. The file said her enhancements were designed to activate under extreme emotional stress. As they argued over her, she stepped back and let the storm inside her finally break free. A silent pulse of energy rippled through the air, shaking the cars and cracking the motel windows. Both men froze, stunned. For the first time, they saw her not as a project or a daughter, but as a power they couldn't control. "I'm not going with either of you," she declared. She raised her hand, and another wave of invisible force held them in place. Then she turned and walked away. For the first time in her life, she was truly alone, free from the shadows that had defined her. She found herself at the cliffs overlooking the ocean, where her journey began. As she stood there, a voice called her name. She turned to see a woman with her eyes, her face. "I'm Subject 1, the woman said, her voice filled with urgency. The failed prototype. She took a step closer, a sad smile on her face. "I'm your twin, and they're not the only ones looking for you." Thanks for watching. If you want to see what happens next, make sure to subscribe.